Hey, I'm Adri, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Titan podcast. All right, y'all. So I'm in the office right now. Today we're going to be talking about anxiety. But before we get started, my goodness, y'all, I made these earrings just now, and I'm really liking them. Black acrylic is just so satisfying. I don't know if it's because black is one of my favorite colors, but man, this one was really nice. I can't wait to post this. What's crazy about, like, what people may not know about having a laser and, like, making all these things is that you have to test all the materials with the machine. Like, all the materials have different settings. So it takes a while to set it up and just see what settings work with what materials. Wow. Okay. Anyways, so we got two messages for today. So first message. Hi, I'm Alex, owner of Yellow Door Bakery. Okay, before I even read the rest of the message, if you have not had any of Alex's treats, you need to go and follow her right now. Because when I tell you, those are the best croissants I've ever had in my life. Like, geez. Anyways, she said, I feel sometimes when I'm doing things for my business, I can come off as she's doing too much. Trying to navigate acceptance of taking up space, finding other badass friends, and running a small business. Thoughts, advice, love you, and you inspire me. Alex, I love you so freaking much. And you inspire me. What a sweet message. I love that. Thank you so much. So, okay. It's funny because getting this message from Alex is actually hilarious to me, because the reason why I even started following Alex was because of her silly reels. So I follow Miracle City because I did a market with them and I really enjoyed it and I wanted to continue events with them. Now, mind you, Miracle City Market is in Titusville and I live in Orlando. My partner lives in Titusville. But I've always loved Titusville. I don't know if it's because of the Puerto Rican in me, missing home and being closer to the water. I feel like that's kind of the vibe that I get from over there. It's also so much more chill, man. Whenever I'm over there, I can drive or go anywhere and not be as anxious. But when I'm here, I don't want to go anywhere. I can't do anything by myself over here because it is so hectic. But yeah, I started following Alex because she posted these. I think what ended up happening was that she was like, I think she collaborated with Miracle City, and so it ended up getting on my post, like on my feed, and I ended up commenting. I didn't even know her, and I never do that. Like, I never comment on like random. Well, sometimes I'll just comment like random nice messages if it's like a sad video or something. Like, I don't know. That's just who I am, but with her specifically, I think with this video, I was so hyped because I don't see a lot of like silly, goofy videos when it comes to like businesses and reels and all that stuff. So it caught my attention because they were dancing. And I was like, this is such a vibe. Like, this is exactly how I felt when I did my first, like, when I was a vendor from like my first event with Miracle City. So I was like, oh, this is fun. And then I looked at her page and I was like, croissants, say less. I followed instantly. So yeah, ever since then, like, Alex and I have been really cool. We've been talking. I mean, that's the coolest thing about having these businesses. And the cool part about social media, I will say, sometimes I really hate social media, and then this is what I do love about social media, is that we can connect with people and just support each other in such a good community, and I love that about it. Going back to Alex's message, okay, first of all, I'm always going to say you're never doing too much. I have dimmed my light for so many years and just trying to figure out like why I am a certain way or why I feel a certain way or anything like that. And then I got my diagnoses. Obviously, my diagnoses don't define me, right? But it does make me who I am. It does make me a little bit different than other people. And so I have come to accept that I am very different from other people, but I can't compare myself to other people because I'm very different and my brain works differently. I think when it comes to women as well, we are always told that we have to quiet down or like not feel so much or not be so extra or like out there. But I am here to tell you, be as extra as you want to be. Like be crazy. It's so funny because I we actually talk about this in jujitsu, and I'm sure it'll come up one day in one of these conversations, but we always talk about like acting crazy when we're trying to defend ourselves. And so we can create that distance control and just not interact, be very quiet, be like whatever, normal tone. But we are then recommended to start acting crazy because at the end of the day, if I need to start barking at you for you to leave me alone, so be it. Like, I will bark at you. I don't care. So if you start to feel like, oh, maybe I'm doing too much, listen, I feel so uncomfortable ever posting on social media. Like, you guys may see my post and be like, "Oh, Adri, like your posts are so cool," or "You're so like this or that." The amount of anxiety I get before making a post, and then I mean, business, like small businesses, creators, you guys will understand that like you have to be on it for a little bit after you post and kind of work on your engagement and all that stuff. But it is so cringe. I do not want to wait. Like, I do not want to be on. As soon as I post, I want to exit the app and completely forget about it. So I think that the feeling is very normal when it comes to, I think when it comes to like millennials, like older Gen Z, because dude, I was born 98, and there are so many more things that I can relate to when it comes to my friends who are millennials. And I'm just like, I cannot relate to it. Like I can and I can't. Like I'm like kind of in the middle. And so like it's weird. When it comes to having a business and like trying to navigate the acceptance of that, of like, okay, I have to be out there. I have to promote my business. I have to take up space. Like I say, right? Like as women, we cannot take up space. That's what we're always told. We have to like be our own. No, no. Take up space. You know what I'm saying? Like who cares? It's so, we have to put to the side like, okay, people mind their own business, and honestly the type of people that should be in your space or should be in your circle are the people that are actually going to enjoy your content. And it's funny because whenever I do see Alex post, she has so many people supporting her, and it's not even about like engagements or this or that. It's about, I see genuine support. So follow that, like pay attention to that, because the people who don't support that or don't accept you for who you are and your fun creative side don't even deserve to be around you. They don't deserve to be around you. They don't deserve to even see that type of creativity. I think and support continuing to make badass friends, continuing to run a fun small business. Like your business is what it is because of you and your personality. And I feel like that's something that we always have to remember as creators, and just like small businesses, even if we're just going to markets, we are creating a space that a lot of people don't have the balls to do this. Genuinely, I was so scared to start going to markets or to start even interacting or like experimenting with different things because I didn't think I was going to be good enough for it. But the more I started getting like support from my friends or people who didn't even know me who supported me, it started to show like, okay, I can't give up. Like I need to keep doing the thing. And listen, I will continue to support your funny, silly reels because those are the things that I look forward to on my feed. And I'm sure a lot of people look forward to it as well. So keep doing what you're doing. And if you resonate with Alex's message, I'm sending that message to you as well. Like, keep doing what you're doing, keep being who you are, because at the end of the day, people are always going to judge you. They're always going to have something to say. And for me, I think I've just gotten to the point as a therapist that a lot of the times I see those projections as, I don't want to say like, oh, it's jealousy or they just want to be you, right? But at the end of the day, like when I see anger, I see something more underlying. So I'm not going to take that personally. I'm going to continue to do what I want to do. So keep doing you, boo, and I will continue to support you. Okay, our next message Um, Overall, I feel like having such an extroverted personality and on top of that, wanting to be liked by people or trying to be a people pleaser usually ends up making me feel like I do too much or I am too much. This ties along well with my message, and it's just about you will not feel like too much around the people that you're meant to be around. I believe heavily in like paying attention to what your body tells you and how your body reacts to certain things or certain environments. And as individuals who feel like so much anxiety or so much emotions in general, we're going to feel those shifts and those like differences, I feel like more often than other people. So I think that if you are, if you're wanting to be liked by other people or you're trying to be a people pleaser, if you're seeing that more often, then we have to start looking within. Because if we're constantly seeking validation or seeking reassurance from other people, that may mean that we need to start focusing that love and affection and care towards ourselves and not towards the people that aren't meant to receive that love and care. Because if we continue to give that energy and emotions to people that don't deserve it, when it drains us, it's just going to, I feel like it'll start to make you lose more of who you are. And if you start to lose sense of who you are, then you're going to continue to seek that reassurance and that love and care from other people, when in reality, that's when you will start to get a little bit more anxiously attached or start to depend on other people. So it's so funny because this is actually the person who, I'm not going to say the name just because I don't like sharing names unless the name is actually in the message. Alex mentioned her name in the message, that's why I mentioned it. But this is a very close friend of mine. And it's so funny because as friends, I feel like we see such a different side to our friends than they see within themselves. And I just want to I'm going to give this message to the person that sent this message, as well as all my other close friends that I talk to somewhat on a daily basis because I reach out as much as I can. Um, you are loved more than you think you are. Like, sometimes we have to, like, if I'm looking through a camera, sometimes we have to put on a wide lens and see things from a different perspective and realize that even if we are experiencing certain things in our life that may make us feel like we're not loved or we're not cared for, that doesn't mean that it is true. Um, there are so many things that you bring into this world, and I think that as individuals, we all are so special in our own individual ways that I wish that I could literally tell every single person individually all the amazing things that they do. I think that with all the things that are going on in this world, we need some more positivity. It's okay to have an extroverted personality, but I think that it's important to pay attention to the people that, add on to that extroverted personality and not take away from your shine. You know what I'm saying? I think that I know what you mean in terms of like it makes you wanting to be liked by people or trying to be a people pleaser, but I don't think you're doing too much. I think that your efforts and your love will never be too much for the people that are actually meant to be in your life. So just think about the people that are in your life and think about that next time you start talking to somebody new. If you start to feel those feelings of like maybe I am being too much or maybe I am, that's not the person that you should be talking to. You should never feel, listen, with my friends, you guys can tell me your deepest, darkest secrets, and we can have hour-long conversation or more about like how in depth we can go about this. You need to find people like that. If like you can't have people that can't connect with you on an emotional level. I have left friends because I felt like they were too dry. and I couldn't connect with them emotionally. I'm sorry, but if I can't be lovey-dovey with you, I don't want you in my life. I am too Latina. I am too like cozy, cuddly, like love my friends. Like I will freaking kiss all of them on the cheek and tell them how much I love them. Like I have no problem with that. But if I can't connect with you on an emotional level, or if I feel like I'm too much, listen, I already feel like too much on an individual level. I have to manage my thoughts every day. And anybody who has, you know, mental health things, I don't want to say mental health issues, right? But for individuals who have dealt with difficulties with their mental health, they know how annoying it could be to constantly overthink if they're being too much, or if, they're not a good person, or if they did the wrong thing. The amount of times that I have been in the shower and just started overthinking, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I shouldn't. I should have said that instead. Or like, maybe I should just stayed quiet. Or like, they suck. I don't want them in my life. Like, it's so crazy the amount of thoughts that we can have every day. So I promise you that you're not the only person that probably thinks, listen, I think that all the time. Sometimes I think I'm too much. The amount of times that even after sessions with clients, I start overthinking. And I have a master's degree in this thing, dude. I have a master's degree and I still overthink every time I have a session with a client. Like, did I do well? Did I make them feel worse? Do they hate me now? Like, and it is okay, I think, and normal as humans for us to kind of have these thoughts about ourselves. But I actually wanted to talk a little bit more about anxiety. So first, what is anxiety? So first of all, I want to talk about, I started creating like a resource, like different resource lists to just provide to my clients as psycho ed. So I'm going to aka psychoeducation, just giving them more information. Sorry, sometimes I'll use clinical terms and like think that everybody knows what I mean. Sometimes they do because of social media. But anyways, psychoeducation, just giving them more information about what anxiety means, basically. So anxiety is your brain's alarm system. It is designed to protect you, to notice threats, signal danger, and get your body ready to respond. That alarm system is not broken when you have anxiety. It is misfiring, or it is stuck in the on position. So let's go into why anxiety happens. When your brain detects something it reads as a threat, real or imagined, a small structure called the amygdala sends an emergency signal. Your heart rate climbs, your breathing shortens, your muscles tighten, your digestion pauses. This is a fight or flight response, and it is designed to help you survive. The problem with anxiety is that this response gets activated even when the threat is not life-threatening. A presentation at school, a text you haven't gotten back, a worry about the future that may never happen. Your body does not know the difference. It responds the same way to a bear as it does to a scary thought. So when we talk about what anxiety actually feels like, anxiety shows up in your body, your thoughts, and your behavior all at once. So in your body, like I mentioned earlier, racing heart, chest tightness, or feeling like you can't breathe deeply enough, stomach upset, nausea, dizziness, etc. In your thoughts, what if something goes wrong, running worst case scenarios repeatedly, feeling certain something bad is coming even without evidence, difficulty concentrating because your mind is preoccupied with worry, or even replaying conversations or situations over and over. In your behavior, it may present as avoiding people, places, or situations that feel threatening, needing reassurance from others, asking the same question multiple times, over-preparing, over-researching, or over-planning as a way to feel safe, procrastinating on things that feel overwhelming, keeping very busy to avoid sitting with anxious feelings. So I want to go into a little bit more about these sections. So for the why anxiety happens sections, at the bottom I have a little box that says, this is not a character flaw. You are not weak because you feel anxious. You are not too sensitive. Your nervous system is doing what nervous systems do. It has just calibrated too sensitively. Anxiety is one of the most treatable mental health conditions. Most people who get the right support learn to manage it effectively and live full lives. That's why when I talk about therapy, anxiety is honestly, I don't want to say it's the easiest thing to work with when it comes to an individual. Sometimes it could really be the hardest, but it is so manageable, and that is the importance of therapy, is let's just talk to somebody. Let's just talk this out, because sometimes we are so stuck in our own thoughts in our own head that we think that other people may think or see that, But in reality, nobody even cares sometimes. So, that is for why anxiety happens. For the what anxiety actually feels like, there's another box that says the avoidance trap. When you avoid something that makes you anxious, you feel relief immediately. But that relief teaches your brain, I was right, that was dangerous. Over time, the things you avoid grow, and so does the anxiety. This is why gradually facing fears with support is the most effective way through. There are different types of anxiety. So we have generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety, panic disorder, separation anxiety, specific phobia, health anxiety, performance anxiety, and agoraphobia. So I also have on this document different age groups and how it affects different age groups. So I'm going to go to the ages 18 to 29 section, and then I'll go to the ages 30 to 59. For the young adults, what it might look like is anxiety about big adult decisions, so career, relationships, finances. The stakes feel enormous. Social anxiety and new contexts, so workplace, dating, adult friendships. Health anxiety is Googling symptoms. I know we've all done that. Convinced something is seriously wrong. Panic attacks or anxiety that feel like a physical emergency. Another one is I should be over this by now. I actually hear that a lot. So self-judgment about anxiety making it worse. What actually helps is knowing that there's no should be over it by now. So anxiety doesn't have a timeline. Therapy is highly effective for anxiety, and this is a great age to start. Apps like Mindshift, CBT, and Woebot can help between sessions or as a first step. And your anxiety is not your identity. It is something your brain does. It can be changed. And then for the next section for the adults, ages 30 to 59, what it might look like: worrying about everything, kids, job, money, aging parents, health, all at once. Anxiety that has been managed for years suddenly feels unmanageable. Alcohol or overworking is the primary anxiety coping mechanism. Physical symptoms can look like GI problems, chest tightness, fatigue, doctors finding nothing wrong, of course, and then anxiety about getting anxiety. So what actually helps? Naming the anxiety for what it is, not stress, not being type A, just anxiety. Therapy works at any age. You do not have to have been anxious your whole life to benefit now. Look honestly at what you're using to manage anxiety: alcohol, busyness, avoidance. And then your body is telling you something. Somatic symptoms of anxiety deserve care, not just medical testing. I think the importance about all of this is that it is okay to stop, take a breather, and take breaks. I think a lot with, especially women, but I think in general, we're meant to be like go, go, go. But it's so important to just take a break and just really sit down. Even journaling, like even I was anxious earlier and like cried a whole bunch. And sometimes that's the only thing that helps me. But then after, I'll journal and I'll brain dump all of the things that I was thinking about. So I'm actually processing the stuff that actually was affecting me. I want to also talk about how anxiety looks different by gender. So for women, women are diagnosed with anxiety at twice the rate of men, but that doesn't mean they have twice the anxiety. It means they are more likely to name it, seek help for it, and have it recognized. Anxiety often shows up as worry, reassurance seeking, and emotional expression. Physical symptoms of anxiety are common: stomach, chest, fatigue, and tension. Social and relational anxiety is especially common: fear of judgment, of not being liked, of saying the wrong thing. So this kind of goes back to what both of our messages were getting at, right? Like, it is okay to feel these things, but just know that it has nothing to do with who you are as an individual. It's just your anxiety telling you, like, hey, maybe these just aren't my people that I need to be around. Hormones matter. So anxiety can shift with your menstrual cycle during pregnancy, postpartum, and through menopause. And then postpartum anxiety is more common than postpartum depression, but far less talked about. What helps? You don't have to minimize what you're experiencing to be taken seriously. Track your cycle. If anxiety fluctuates, the pattern is useful information for you and your therapist. Postpartum anxiety is real, common, and very treatable. Please don't wait to get support. Therapy, body-based practices, and peer connection are particularly effective. So that's yoga and somatic work. For men and those raised to be strong, as they say, so men are significantly underdiagnosed for anxiety, not because they have less of it, but because it often looks different and because asking for help feels like admitting weakness, which it is not. The amount of times that I will say that, geez. Anxiety often shows up as irritability, anger, or feeling on edge, not as visible fear or worry. Physical symptoms include back pain, headaches, GI problems, chest tightness. Risk taking, overworking, and alcohol use are common anxiety management strategies that don't actually work long term. Social anxiety in men often show up as avoiding leadership situations, authority figures, or evaluation, not just social events. Performance anxiety, so work, physical, or sexual, is common and rarely talked about. What helps? You don't have to call it anxiety to get help for it. Call it stress. Call it things have been rough. Start somewhere. Action based approaches work well, so walking, exercise, building something, solving a problem, and then gradually working towards the feelings underneath. Look honestly at alcohol use. If it's how you manage anxiety, it's worth addressing. Therapy does not require you to cry in someone's office. It can be practical, direct, and useful. And then it also has a note on here that says men with anxiety are more likely to use alcohol as self medication. Men are also more likely to have anxiety go unrecognized and untreated for years. Untreated anxiety is not strength, getting support is. That just shows that, listen, this stuff is normal and it is okay to feel this way. I think it's just about like, hey, let's be real and let's see it for how it is. All right, guys, that is all I wanted to talk about regarding anxiety. I hope you learned something. I hope you take some of this and think, okay, I am okay. Like, people experience this. This is normal. Sometimes we just have to hear the facts and hear the numbers and hear the information, because it may feel like our thoughts are a lot and we're a lot and that we're crazy or anything like that. But listen, that is the exact reason as to why I made my stickers. I am not crazy. I am in therapy, because that's something that is it's said all the time within the Hispanic culture of like, oh, I'm not going to go to therapy. Like, I'm not crazy. Why would I do that? No, going to therapy is actually a strength. And I'm not saying everybody needs to go to therapy, right? But start talking about your feelings. Start being honest and reach out to the people that actually are there to support you. And remember that you're not alone. I always have resources available on tiedbyadri.com under the resources tab. So if you ever do feel alone, or hey, if you ever want to look at some other resources of like, how can I manage this? Or how can I feel like I'm not alone in this? Check out my resources, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. Have a good one.